Coming to you from Strings and Things Studio in Ventura, California, I'm Katie.
I'm Ann.
And I'm Karin.
And this is the Strings Unraveled podcast. How's everybody doing?
Fine.
It's
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
A whiner. I'm from California.
Yeah. Is it really that hot?
Well, you live in Ventura, so I don't think you get to complain.
It's a little warmer
I'm
in
not
Fillmore.
complaining. Yeah.
Like,
And then,
what was it,
I guess I
95
should say you don't get to judge.
Yeah, I know.
Venturians are
of course, I can't complain because next week, it's starting like tomorrow, it's supposed to be monsoonal moisture again.
Oh, great. I don't look at the weather
Hot and
during this
muggy.
time of year. I'm like, whatever. I'm just going to be disappointed with whatever I see, so I'm just not going to look.
Having grown up in Fresno, where we say it's okay, it's a dry heat. I don't mind the heat so much. It's the humidity that I become a complete baby about.
Yep.
Honestly, the humidity in Puerto Rico was the same as here on a humid day.
Yeah.
I was not any more uncomfortable there than I was
That
when I've been here on a humid day.
Yeah. It's
But
been
wow,
gross.
what a place to be in.
Yep, it was pretty neat.
Okay. Well, who wants to start with what they're working on today?
Karen's gonna start.
No, I started last time. It's Anne's turn.
Did you start last time?
I have no idea.
I don't think you started last time.
I'm sure I did. Anyway, okay, so I picked up the Charlize again because I was close to the end. You know how it is you're so close to the end and then you put it down and then
yes.
it waits and waits and waits because there's other things that are like children screaming, pick me, pick me. Okay, so those things all quieted down and I'm picking up the Charlize. I have just like 5 more rows and then binding off.
Remind us what Charlize is.
Charlize is a shawl, and it's
They should have called it Shawlees.
Charlize. Sorry. It's not a super deep shawl. It more like a shawlette, and it has a lot of open lace work at the top, and then the bottom is this 4x2 ribbing.
When's the last time you made a shawlette? I haven't knitted a shawlette in
Ages.
forever.
There's something kind of satisfying about a one skein thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah. There's times where I want the ongoingness of a bigger project because usually it's broken down into parts that keep my interest. But this was like, I can't believe I went through the main lace part so quickly and I slowed down on the simple ribbing.
Yeah, of course. 'Cause
Well,
that's not the fun part.
it is ribbing.
It is ribbing, but it's just like it's not even the knit side, it's the wrong side where I have to think the opposite. It's not like 2-2 or 1-1. It's 4-2 and then 2-4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I've had to take some stuff out, a few bits out already because I stopped paying attention. The other thing is I was working on a project that I started a year ago. And I thought, I know someone who's having a baby, so I'm going to push myself to get a lot done. And then I started running out of yarn.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, I'm going to order it right away. But I chose the slow shipping.
Oopsie.
It's like, oh, it's okay. I made something else for her, which we'll talk about in the FO project, the FO section. But just as a reminder, it is called the Merryweather Blanket. And it's one of those that it has lots and lots of little squares. Some are solid, some are half square triangle looking. And you're working a quarter, halfway around the square with one color, carrying the other, and then you flip flop. And then
Is it crochet?
it's crochet. It's just 3 rounds. There are on this size there are 260 squares.
Wow.
To put together.
Fun.
But I'm down to the last 36.
That would be a very special baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a special couple. I think they would be worth it, but it didn't get done in time. So instead, it's gonna be something else. It'll be for somebody else.
Yeah.
So I picked that up, and of course, it's the ongoing sweater that we're all working on. But we can talk about that later.
Oh, yeah, we're working on that.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, okay. Well, if there's something to talk about, because I've only done like part of.
This is Graphica?
Yeah, Graphica. I
haven't
progressed
touched
a
mine.
little bit, and we could just leave it at that.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Let's
Okay.
make a pact to make real progress. next month.
I'm not.
No? Okay.
How about
Peer
starting
pressure.
in fall?
Nope.
Starting
Peer
in fall.
pressure.
Nope.
No,
Peer
as soon as
pressure.
you said the word peer pressure, Katie's brain was like,
Oh,
I'm
Katie was out
I'm
before I
done.
defined it.
Yeah,
she
no.
could see peer
I don't
pressure.
I don't want to work on it. If I wanted to work on it, I'd be working on it.
Fair enough.
The thing I've been devoting my extra time, I've been doing a lot, picking up stuff that I already started. Technically, I started this other project, but then when I joined, apparently there was a twist. But there's so many stitches that I was like 4 inches into the chevron pattern before I realized that there was a twist.
Oh, no.
I had to rip it all back.
Oh.
And it's like, oh man.
I'd be mad at that for a long time.
I set it down and I thought, this is a fun summery color, the stripes. And I realized I have everything I need to work on this. I do think that, I'm on Gauge, but she must block the bejeebers out of it to get, because I'm already.
What is it? You haven't.
Oh, it is called Lapis. Let me put on
It's
my
really cute. Is it a
reading
sweater?
glasses. It's like a sleeveless drop sleeve sweater. Pullover with colorful retro vibes, cropped and comfortable with generous ease. It does. Designed by Yamagara. And you can see it right there.
Mhm.
So in the picture she has black, and then she has these really bright pops of reds and green and yellow for this chevron pattern. And the chevron pattern is not hard. It's actually really, really interesting.
Uh-huh.
I'm using, of course, teal. Or it's more of a mixture of sky blue and pale teal. And a self-striping Felici special reserve, whatever that means. Fingering weight. I like this colorway name. It's called Game Over.
Cute.
Anyway, so I've got 2 balls of that, and I may not even get to the second ball.
Nice.
I might not need it. But it's one of those things you should have a provisional cast on, because you're going to do the bottom ribbing probably later after you're done. And I will tell you, every couple rows, I kept stretching it out to make sure, for sure. Is there no twist in it? For sure? Really? There's no twist in it? Because I just did not want to go through it again. But I don't know. I guess when it's blocked, it looks the same. I'm in the section where you do the self-striping yarn for a few inches, and then you alternate 2 rounds of your solid with 2 rounds of your self-striping.
So what's your concern?
That doesn't look like it's going to be as deep as it does in the picture.
Well, you can tell. You're not done with it yet. You're probably, halfway?
No, I finished the section. Now I'm up here in the self-striping. See what I mean?
Where it's going to gradiate into...
It's hard to tell, though, because
It's hard to
a
tell.
weird shape. So you don't actually know.
Yeah.
Like, I
Mhm.
feel like maybe that picture, it looks bigger than it actually is in person.
Okay.
Because it's, like, blousy. So maybe it's an actually rather small sample.
And if I'm...
Mhm. Yeah, that's
And it
what I'm
looks
thinking.
Yeah.
disproportionate in the
That's
picture.
true, that's true.
That's my theory.
That's very true. I do like the chevron. You have increases. It has some. It goes narrow for the waist, and it gets bigger
Mm-hmm.
for the bust. So you have some shaping that keeps it kind of blousy.
Built into the
chevron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cute.
You instead of decreasing, you have a few rows where you're just increasing.
Smart.
With them. Yeah. So it's visually you cannot see where those are, but I like how that's.
Mm-hmm.
How that's working out. It's not too much. Yeah, so I'm doing that.
That's a fun pattern for a self-striping yarn.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I thought. I mean, she used more of a gradient where it pooled differently, which also works in a chevron. But maybe the chevron doing it the second time was more engaging because one, I was more cautious. But also I was like, ooh, where's this color going to line up? Because they don't necessarily, for the size of this, they do hit their neighbors.
Right.
And they have
you
different.
don't get full big stripes like you would have saw.
No, clearly, because you'd have to be like several socks around my torso.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of fun. You do 2 decreases. You do a yarn over, knit 1 yarn over, and it's got a little bit of a lace.
And you said
arrow.
you only use 1 skein or 2?
This
of
is
the
one.
50
This
gram?
is 1 skein. I haven't even I still have
Nice.
a lot of the first skein. So
That's awesome.
I might use all of this and just barely touch into the second one. part of me wants to go a little longer, but
Mhm.
that would change the shaping of where the increases are a little bit, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you can
Yeah.
take control and just. I don't know.
I mean, you've already done the increases,
I've
or
already
are
done
there
some.
more to do?
There might be more to do, but it's one of those two. How about I just trust the pattern? How about I just enjoy the pattern and not have to change everything?
could too.
You could Terry Hagerman and put it on waist yarn and block it and see how far up it goes on
Well-
your torso.
Technically, it's on.
No, I mean off of your needles.
Oh, well, it's going to be, I'm going to be into the solid main color. I'm going to be out of the chevron striping and into the solid color before I get to the armhole part.
Yeah, but she's
I'm
saying
just
you could take
saying-
it off the needles now.
Oh,
Put it on waist yarn at some point
at some point.
and see before you stop the chevron. How's that?
That's true.
And then see if you like where it's going to hit.
That's true. I've already started the chevron, the alternating part, but I could always just extend that.
Yeah.
Once that's done, and get a good view of it.
You could
But-
do anything you want.
That's true.
You could
'Cause
also
there's
ignore
no-
my idea and just do the pattern because you want to.
Yeah, but you know how I like to change things up. So I like what you're telling me.
Are your
But-
colors on that yarn? Is it red, pink, blue, and orange?
Yes.
So it's Pac-Man.
Is that what?
Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, what is
Because
it?
Pac-Man's yellow, and then his ghosts are the other 3 or 4 colors. So I'm
Yellow,
guessing,
orange,
and then
it's
there's
got
like a
one-
dark blue background.
Dark blue and one tiny
Dots.
section where the red and the blue overlap to make this like purple blacky
Yeah.
color.
My guess is it's Pac-Man.
Just yeah.
Aren't Felicity colors always limited edition?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, no one except somebody who bought that color already. Once they're out, they're out.
Yeah.
Oh really? I never knew that.
They bring it back
Is it
and
just
forth,
all
but
Felici or just Felici special or they're all Felici
I think
special?
they're all special reserve. I have.
Oh, I thought I was special.
Well, I don't know.
You are
I mean,
special.
it is.
I am.
I
Because
have
you got game
the-
over.
I have the Doctor Who colorway.
I wanted
Um,
that. But they brought that one.
That one
back.
I think they've
Yeah.
come back with a couple times.
It's too perfect to not.
Cool. Anything else?
That. Hold on, I got lots of bags and stuff.
Check all the tote bags. Make sure you don't miss
Oh,
anything.
Oh, okay. So before I'm coming back briefly to Charlize, I had this impulse
Ooh.
cake that I got a year ago. It was an impulse a year ago. Now it's just stashed.
Mhm.
Because it's called Fiber World 2021 Summer of Love. But when I got it, it's a lot more orange sherbet than I thought.
What's the yarn?
It is from Apple Tree Knits, and it's plush fingering, which they give you a lot. I mean, there's 560 yards. There's
That's
a
a
lot
lot.
you could do,
That's my favorite of her yarns.
which actually is, if I think about it, is more than I need for this. So there's a little bit of that moss sea foams in the section center, and then it fades to like a pale peach, and then it goes full on orange sherbet.
You could
For, like,
start
half
with
of
the
it.
blue.
I'm definitely going to start with the blue because otherwise I won't get much of it
Right.
except at the very end.
Yeah.
So, as I always believe, start with the part of that's your favorite color.
How do you describe the orange again?
Full on orange sherbet.
Sherbet. So like,
Sherbet.
sherbet. You don't
Sherbet
have
or
a lot
sherbet.
of regional pronunciations, but that I think is one.
It has
And
two.
it's delightful.
It has two R's. Why is the second R not pronounced? Sherbet. But it sounds so weird when you say sherbet.
Yeah,
So
I say sherbet too.
Yeah.
But
So
some,
I'm not trying
but
to
I
like single
automatically
you
say
out.
sherbet.
I love it.
I think maybe that is from my Midwestern
Yeah.
comes
Jason
out.
says
definitely.
sherbet.
Oh, does
Sherbet.
he?
Yeah.
But he's not Midwestern.
No,
he's
but
local.
his I don't know if maybe that's a southern thing because he says a lot of things the way his Mississippian grandmother said
Oh,
things.
well,
so
see, that's
that
not
could've-
that far, St. Louis and Mississippi. So
that could have been.
And I have been listening to so many audiobooks with a southern accent
Oh, but
that I am saying y'all all day long, and my family's just looking at me like,
I say y'all all the time anyway.
I do too.
Because I think it's like a relatively inclusive way to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
you
And
all
I
sounds
had-
very aggressive.
Somebody was helping the
It becomes
person.
a you statement then, which are aggressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
The people who came by to drop off this table for us, I said, what are y'all doing, whatever, and we talked for a minute, and then he goes, where in Texas are you from? And I was like, I'm not from Texas. And he was like, oh, you said y'all. I just assumed. I
Okay,
was
it's
like,
more
no,
than
I
te-
just say that.
Yeah, I think
Just
it's
so
become
y'all-
very
Just so
national.
y'all know, y'all is across all of the South and Midwest.
Yeah.
So it is not just Texas.
Well, I
Yeah.
understood, but I was like, no, I'm not from
It's
Texas.
not a Minnesotan thing. My mom does not say that.
Well, that's northern. Minnesota is northern. When
Yeah.
I think Midwest, I mean like right in the center.
It's middle of Nebraska. Or
Something. I don't really know what
Minnesotans
they...
are coming to fight you. They are definitely Midwestern.
When I think Midwest, I think of like Minnesota more than I think of.
Well, I think of the center spot.
Minnesota
Yeah.
is really north.
Maybe Ohio. Yeah, it is north, but it's northern Midwest. It's
But if
definitely
I think of
Midwest.
like a Midwesterner person,
You think of a
someone with
Minnesotan?
a Minnesotan accent.
Or somebody from Wisconsin.
Yes.
Like, I also tend to think.
Wisconsin.
I tend to think of the northern.
What I'm super
Midwesterners.
curious about is when I got this, I apparently was organized and I put the needles in the
Wow.
bag. Unfortunately, I never put the pattern, so I
was
have
gonna say, what do
no
you make with those
idea
needles?
what
Who
I
cares?
intended. But it's going to be something else now.
Well, that's
Right.
great.
But I don't know, maybe. So I'm debating. It could be another Charlize, but I'm going to have a lot left over.
There's a lot of virtue in using your stash.
Yeah,
How many yards does Charlize use?
it's just a regular 4. I guess it's not that
What
much
if you made
different.
the ribbing more dramatic and just bigger?
I could
Also,
just.
there's only about 5,000 Chalette patterns
That
on
too.
Ravelry, you know?
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. I could even just save it for something
You can make the
Tunisian.
Xenia one by that designer.
Well,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The ribbing is about 3 inches. It is a deep ribbing
Mhm.
for, on it. Okay, so that was the Summer of Love plush fingering, which always feels so squishy and wonderful. It's
Yeah.
really well named. So
Nice.
that was a future project. Those are finished.
Good to know we're talking about this because there's one I want to talk about, but I was like, no, Anne, you haven't even bought all the yarn for it yet.
And I gotta put something down here.
She's still rummaging.
I got one more thing, but unfortunately it is like mixing. I am redoing a sample of my. Did I already show another Zopf?
I don't.
I don't think you did.
Oh, okay.
Is that a hat or a shawl?
No, it's my
Is
scarf.
it,
It's my scarf.
Yeah.
Little enchilada
Neck
thingy.
warmer thing?
Neck warmer.
Not shown that to
But I
us.
like it to be a little deeper if I could. And this is Stash.
Nice.
Another impulse that is now being repurposed.
Isn't all stash impulse?
Yeah, that's why it's stashed.
I mean, some of
I
it-
didn't use it.
some
Some
of
of
it's
it is
like-
planned and then
Right.
repurposed.
Yeah.
But this was like pure, when we meet together on Fridays, we also call it the ableist day because
And
it's
an
retail.
ableist?
Yeah, because one person brings something in like a pattern or a drinking cup or a yarn bowl, and all the rest of us are like, "Ooh, that's pretty. Where'd you get that?" We're all like on our phone shopping. Did you get that thing? So someone brought in this really fun, simple raglan garter stitch cardigan, but it had cloth. It had knit buttons.
Oh, cute.
Covered buttons, and I thought that was really cool. But rather than have to buy all these little mini skeins, I got a self-striping yarn that I had multiple colors, and I figured each stripe could be another button.
What
I'd
a
have a
great-
lot left over, but for
what
the
a-
price, it's still cheaper.
What a great thing to do with, like, your giant bag of fingering weight stash.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that would be
That's
cool.
And let's say you don't have a button, maybe you can't find a button that matches. You know the yarn matches.
Yeah. It's like
And if you want-
covered buttons for all of your
Yeah. So
things.
now the pattern for the buttons is separate from, which is I found interesting. The pattern shows the sweater. The pattern for the sweater shows the buttons, but says that the buttons are a separate pattern.
Is it like you knit a circle and then you use the button cover,
It's like no,
or was it a bobble?
honestly,
or
I
was
haven't
it
opened up the
stitched?
PDF
Okay.
yet.
Because like I know how to make a lot of different cool like Dorset buttons and stuff. That's
I think
really
it's one of
fun.
those where it starts in the center and goes out and then decreases
Oh,
a
that's
little
But,
bit.
but that's not what you're doing with the yarn.
No, because
Side
I realized
quest.
yeah, I changed my mind about that. There's so many things I could do
I was
instead.
gonna say, that doesn't look like a button.
Nope. I'm using it to redo because it's nice because it's cotton. It's a cotton blend,
Mm.
and I thought because I originally got it because I thought cotton buttons would be nice, but also a cotton neck warmer is kind of perfect for where we live.
When your
And
neck is cold, but only a little bit cold.
only a little bit cold. Yeah, we just want a little something between your jacket and your ears. Anyway, so I'm redoing my Zopf neck warmer, and that's an entrelac, like a good beginner entrelac scarf pattern.
It's very
And I widened it a little bit, but I like it because each direction, each layer, each row is like a different color. So
Cool.
And what color do you think it is?
cute. Ah.
It's not just teal, honestly.
It's
It's
very
not.
beachy.
It's more
Yeah.
robin's egg. Exactly. It's got a beachy kind of pinky, beigey, and it's got a little bit of taupe going in there. But now I'm done. Now that's. But these are all stash items. All
Good
stuff
job.
just going with what I already had,
Nice.
job.
and redoing patterns that I already had.
Nice. What are you doing, Katie?
I'm working on float side, which I think I was working on last time. I haven't touched it in a little bit. Anna and I were trying to solve a mystery before Karin got here about why I had all these stitch markers in.
They're the
And
cute little copper.
I didn't know what they were
safety pins.
marking.
Oh, what are they?
I think I have to knit like a specific nut, like 160 rows or something. And I counted, these are marked every 10 rows, so I think I'm just keeping track of how many I've done. I think that was what that was for. But the point is I haven't touched it in a little bit because I didn't know what I was doing.
That color, I am still so in love with it.
Yeah.
Talk about pool. It's like pool colors.
It needs 7
You found some.
mini skeins for the
Ooh.
front. I bought these on Etsy from Coats and Co. Coates. Some hand dyer on Etsy, and this is called the Summer 22 Beachy set of cottage sock yarn. And I think it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think I'm going to use the darkest one because it's pretty close to the colors that I'm using, but it goes like cream, like a peachy pink, like seashell kind of color, a darker coral, like a mustard, like a summery green, and like a sagey green kind of pastel.
Those are pretty.
Yeah, I was just looking on Etsy for mini skein sets, and I saw this, and I was like, oh, perfect, and I bought it
And they're
on an impulse.
And they're solid, and they're going to work really well with your
Yeah.
multicolor.
I still need one other color because you
soft
need
blue.
7, but I think I have enough I could repeat one.
Soft blue. You
Yeah.
Find a soft blue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's been sitting in this project bag for like a month. I haven't even opened it. So float side, and then the reason I'm not working on float side is because I started Easy V, which is a Caitlin Hunter pattern, I think, to teach as a class. So let me put this one away and open up this other bag. And I'm using everybody's favorite $2 yarn
Ooh.
and other things. So this
Look at those
is-
pretty colors.
It's like a darker rust color.
I love that color.
And then I have Malabrigo. Oh, I'm going to throw it in. It might be Piedras. I don't remember.
It sounds about right. I mean, it looks about right.
I'm doubling that. This is a Tosh Merino Light in a color I don't remember the name of. And another sock yarn. This is Road Less Traveled. I picked it up from the Yarn Over Track, so I just pulled out all my fingering weight. So I'm using those 3 as my contrasting colors, and they're held double for the color work. And then I have like a dark, rusty, orangey kind of color. It's called Spice for the body of the sweater. And I'm in the color work in the yoke, which is the fun part, so I'm enjoying it. And I also haven't touched that in a little bit because I was working on some commission things this month. It just happened, like I had a bunch of people that wanted me to make them things, and normally I'm like not as excited to do that. But I'm trying to like save some extra dollars here and there before we go on our trip. So I am working on a couple pairs of felted clogs for a friend. So there's 2 pairs of, they're not felted yet, but
No.
there's 3 slippers, and I have probably 70% done with the 4th. So I have 1 more slipper left in it, and then I'm going to felt them, and then I can mail them off. So, and I mean, they go fast,
Yeah.
but they're all the same color, and they're all the same size. So it's like making 4 of the
Boring.
same thing over and
Yeah.
over is not very fun. But you know, I'm getting it done.
Work is work.
Yeah. And this last one I thought was gonna be in the finished category, but when I pulled it out today to show it to somebody, I'll show you why it's not finished. This is the Envision cardigan that I'm teaching as a class. It's the child size. I was like, yeah, it just needs buttons.
And a sleeve.
And a whole other sleeve.
Oh.
That I forgot that I apparently haven't crocheted yet. So
Oopsie.
it still needs a sleeve. It won't take very long. But
No.
this is the $2 yarn. The loops and threads. What is
That
it called?
pattern is so nice.
What the heck is this yarn called?
Wool
Cozy Wool Merino.
Yeah.
It's a basic crochet cardigan. This is like the size 4 or something. And it goes all the way up to an adult, like 4X, I think. So
Yeah. There's some very excited people to make that.
yeah, it'll be fun. So that class starts in 2 days, and I was like, oh yeah, my sample will be done, but I still need another sleeve. But I might leave it with one sleeve so I can use it as a teaching opportunity. But that's why
That's true.
I had to move it from my finished column into my working on column
Aw.
because I forgot that it still needs a sleeve.
It's much more fun when it slides the other way during the day.
Yes. It went backwards.
Oopsie.
Those are the 4 things that I'm working on currently.
Very exciting.
Yes. And
I think startitis was going
mm.
like we were all passing that virus
Yep.
around. But I've been enjoying that soundbite on Instagram of I'm here to inform you that it is now Halloween time.
Yes.
You may be confused because it's July, but the Council of Spooky Bitches has met and declared that
It's
this
spooky
is
season.
Halloween. This is Halloween. Which then, I heard it like several times at the beginning of the month, and I had to watch Nightmare Before Christmas, which my son, who likes watching the Halloween movies and horror movies with me, he walked in on me watching on a Friday night, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He felt very betrayed that I'd watch it without him. And then he went away for a week and he texted me, "What's the Disney Plus sign on?" I'm like, "What, are you going to watch Nightmare Before Christmas without me?" He's like, "Yeah."
Maybe.
So is this pattern called Carved? The jack-o'-lantern
Yeah,
sweater?
I think it is.
So I made a carved last year and it was very fun.
Mm-hmm.
I made it in that like Cinderella pumpkin green.
Yeah, the green color.
But I really want an orange one. But I don't want us to be accidental twinsies, you and me,
Sure,
Katie.
sure.
So
I've never worn mine.
never?
It's too hot.
I don't care.
I know, I
don't
don't either,
care.
but I feel
Not
too
even once, or
sweaty.
only once per picture.
Only once for
It's a great picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I talked about it when I started it last year with the ambition that maybe I'd finish it somewhere in November or something and be ready. But there's a comic artist whose name's not going to come to me right now, who has this goofy pumpkin with one tooth.
Oh, I remember talking about
Yeah.
this.
So, and people send her pictures of their carved dumb pumpkin. And so I am changing the chart on the front of this sweater, which is a kind of easy lacework design of the jack-o'-lantern face, to look like her dumb one-tooth pumpkin.
Yeah.
And then I'm also making Marabella one in some, I think this was called Landscapes. It's one of the Lion brand cakes. And
Is it mandala? Because Landscapes, I think, is a single ply. Like, it kind of looks Noro-ish.
Well, I don't know that it's mandala. Maybe it is mandala. It's really like energetically plied and
Yes.
smooth. You think it's mandala?
Maybe.
I honestly can't remember, so you could tell me it was whatever it was. But it goes from like a hot pink to a soft,
Yeah, I think it
warm
is.
pink. Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up a picture to show you the texture of the yarn.
And then into oranges. And so I'm making her one that's just gonna do that gentle color change.
Like candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Yeah, mandala ombre.
Mandala ombre.
So I've picked these back up and I'm going pretty good on them. I'm not like super hot into doing them, but a little bit of a sleeve every day.
Nice.
And I then also picked up my black and white vintage winter, which I'm doing in, I think I'm all going to do all of the ones I have planned in Lion Brand Woolies. And my dogs got to this one
No.
like months ago when I was working on it, Great Guns, like in March, and like chomped the, there it is. So you can see the chomped circular needle.
Your bamboo needle is.
Yeah. So luckily, I think the sleeve is done though. It's just in peril because the live stitches are falling off the broken needle, but it's fine. It's fine. It's just stockinette, no big deal. And then I had also started the body, so it's not very far along, not very exciting to look at, but it is fun. It's the sparkly white lion brand with
That is fun.
just jet black. So I'm looking forward to getting that rolling because once you get into the yoke, you were at the fun part.
It goes so fast at that point. That's how I did my Christmas sweater, was bottom up. So you know, you're saving all the fun for the end.
Yeah.
Which is a good way to do it.
And I'm hoping that one's just going to look kind of abstract because it's just black and white. So in the yoke of Vintage Winter, it's triangles and circles and corrugated ribbing. So I'm hoping that's just going to look very like geometric.
Right, and not Christmas.
Wearable.
Are you going to do the scallop edge too?
I think I planned to do a hard triangles, but I have to find my notes.
Yeah.
But I could go either way.
Cool.
So I am proud of myself as well for picking up the started projects and
look at
trying
us
to
go.
see them through. And then I'm doing something new to me that you have taught many times, the corner to corner Afghan.
You gotta love a corner to corner.
$2 yarn. That's what I gotta love.
Different $2 yarn this time.
So the lava cakes from Karin, they appeared at the same time that vast amounts of the cozy wool merino did.
Yep.
And they just quietly made that yarn cheaper and cheaper. And I did not realize, I was looking for one more ball to finish something else on Sunday. And I came across 2 lava cakes in a pink and teal and yellow and green. And then one that's just in shades of blue. And I brought them up there thinking they're probably still $4.99 because that's a good deal on any of the cakes. And they were $2 each too.
Nice.
So I was making my husband these little cute baby hats.
For him?
Yeah, because Kevin with his
cute little baby head.
His 25-inch round head, which, if you don't know, that's an extraordinarily large head. No, I make him a stash of baby presents to keep in his classroom for when the baby showers turn up. And he's about out. I think he has like one pink hat left. So I'm making these as presents for a stash, which I don't usually make such a big, like, extravagant thing.
Yeah.
But for $4,
they go fast,
it's going to cost less than the hat. Yeah. And it really, I mean, it's a lot more yarn and yardage, but the hats take about an evening. And this is, depending on how manic I am that night, it's taking 2 to 3 evenings.
Are you going to put all the stripes in the middle so the pink will be on? That'll look really cool.
Yeah, I think so. So those are the things I'm working on.
Nice.
I keep envisioning the next thing I'm going to sew. And I did rotary cut out I'm going to make a mimic of the red and white checked quilt that is in the Monica and what's-her-faces? Monica and on Friends.
Oh.
Monica and Jennifer Aniston's character.
Yep.
Yeah. In their apartment, there's a red and white big check, red square, white square, red square, white square blanket. And I just really fixated on needing to make something like that.
What is her name?
Well, there's Phoebe, and there's Monica, and there's Ross,
and there's Joey,
and Chandler Bing. And Jennifer Aniston.
Rachel!
Ah, there you go.
The Rachel haircut is how I remembered.
So yeah, in Rachel and Monica's apartment.
Got it.
And if you've never noticed it, because I don't think it's anything I ever was like, gosh, I wish I had a red and white checked blanket when I was watching it religiously as a kid, which I can't watch it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I used to laugh my butt off. And I sat down to watch it with my kids thinking, this will stand up. This is like the funniest thing I watched as a kid. Immediate fat shaming.
Yeah, it didn't age
And then
well.
all kinds of other just like tropes and stuff we've tried to walk away from.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
It's a little cringy now.
No, we're not doing this one.
Not age well. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, Core Joey, how you doing is like, oh, that's not good either.
Yeah.
But I want to make that quilt. So I cut out some of my squares for that recently.
Nice.
Because, getting the rotary cutter out is a big deal.
Well, do you want to jump into what we finished?
Yeah.
Karin, you get to go first again.
Okay. The first thing I finished, I can't really show a picture because it was the thing that sucked down all my
But
time.
you can show a picture. Don't you have a picture?
Well, because it's going to be published in.
Oh, you can't show a picture
can't-
later.
I can show a picture later. I finished my design for Radical Threads for their winter issue. It's going to come out in
Ooh.
December.
Cool.
So exciting.
The issue is themed around air. So I did size 13, the largest one, and it is like cotton candy
The
in
largest
the
one.
air. My largest sweater, size of my sweater, is pullover is what you're looking
I thought
for.
you meant size 13 hook.
No.
Because you haven't said what
No,
it was
okay.
made
And when
as
I say
yet.
size 13, I don't mean it's the 13th size.
Wow.
My pattern has 13 sizes, and we're not going by U.S. measurements. It's just incremental to line up with which
Mhm.
number you follow in the pattern.
That's awesome.
It has 7 inches of ease. And depending on the size, it's a little bit of a dolman because the sleeve really does start at the bottom of the arm thing, but I don't know. It's full. It's a much fuller, generously full sleeve as well.
Cool.
So I finished that. Then I have 2 other things I have pictures of
Okay.
because the baby blanket that I thought I would, I couldn't finish earlier. I had to come up with something else. So I decided I was going to make them. The baby shower was last Sunday, so I did take pictures before I gifted them.
Good.
So I made the wireframe tote.
Yep.
And with fabric and stuff I got from Super Buzzy. And while I was there, I found this really, really fun panel. And it is just like, if you think of like a playmat that has a cityscape on it, it's just one big panel with backing and just a layer of batting. And it's a canvas, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's kind of heavy. It's nice and heavy duty. And I let the parents to be know that these are not precious presents. These are things to throw on the grass and throw on the sand. And it's okay if it gets dirty. You can just throw it in the wash. And so I did this. I'm going to show you the picture.
Oh, that is cute. It's a little
Isn't it? They're having a little boy, but it didn't matter
Cute.
because any gender would enjoy a cityscape to play on.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ours are fun.
And then the backing of it is this really neat grass green gingham.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just did 2 lines of, made these like squares. Let me
Cute.
see. And then the other thing I made was the wireframe tote, but in the large size. And it's kind of fun. They go, oh, it's a bassinet. It is large enough. Okay, so she's due in a week, and she looks like she's only 5 months along.
Oh.
She's a tiny, tiny little thing.
Maybe she has an inverted uterus.
She didn't see. Is that a dangerous thing? Is that
No, it's when I think my mom had this because she looked the same in all her pregnancies. All 4 kids, she looked like, oh, did you eat a big lunch? But your baby grows into your abdomen.
Oh,
instead
instead of
of
hanging out.
Out. Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting.
So, they are into plaid, and then
Oh,
the
that's
blue looks
cute.
almost like a denim. They really
Cute.
loved it. It's got pockets on the inside
That's a fun gift.
because they can roll they could roll the quilt into a blanket
And you
and
made
put
both
that in
of
the
those
bottom.
things in one afternoon?
Well, until like
one half of a day?
I might have gone home at 2:30 that morning.
Okay, we'll
then
give you
the
one
next
day.
morning, within 20, yeah. But a lot of it is because the panel, there's no piecing.
Yeah.
You cut it, you
told me when you
sandwich
left
it.
that both of those things were for the baby shower, which was the next day, and I was like, all right. But I didn't doubt you because
Yeah,
you know,
no.
Well,
I wouldn't have done it, but
The power of a deadline.
the power of a deadline. And yeah, and it wasn't hard to cut the pieces out either. I mean, they're just rectangles and stuff.
Cute.
And they get quilted together, and the way the ends get finished is nice. So that's the end. I did take a picture of the inside.
Oh, that is cute.
Isn't that fun?
Very nice.
It is big. It's like
Because this one's not the largest.
that's the medium.
Right.
So the largest is like 10.5 by or 11 by 20.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is pretty sizable.
And then it's the same depth. It's just a little wider and deeper. But it's the same thing. It's that wire frame that when they want to take it off, they can, when they want to wash it, they just can undo the Velcro, take the wire frame out, throw it in the wash. dry it, throw it in the dryer, and then you can put it back on. But
Nice.
it's got pockets for baby lotion, whatever they want to put on it. What else I finished? Oh, I finished a project that I had cut out a year ago. And I was way too intimidated to actually finish it. But this year I thought I want to go to the beach and I want to have this great swimsuit. It was mostly because when we went in the beginning of the month of July to my anniversary trip, I couldn't go to the beach because I only had a swim top, not a swim bottom.
Oh.
Couldn't find my swim bottoms. So
you didn't want to go to any of those kind of beaches?
Yeah, or you could have gone to Target.
I felt like, well, it was too cold in San Diego to really be at the beach anyway.
Yeah, cold in San Diego?
It was chilly.
Wow.
It was chilly and overcast.
It's always like
and then muggy,
Ugh.
but still. Ugh. Okay, so I made a rash guard because when I'm at the beach, I like to spend all my time in the water and like 3 or 4 or 5 hours all day long, and I don't want to have to come out and reapply. So to me, it would be perfect to
Ooh.
look at this. So it's this beautiful. It's swimsuit fabric, and it's a ginormous floral print.
Yeah, it's lovely.
With like black in the background. And it fits great. This was from Helen's Closet. It's the Waimea rash guard.
Cool.
And I made it it's like a raglan sleeve, but they also I made it just like the solid version, but they have it where you have color block panels on the side. But this print is so pretty, I just didn't want to break it up. I wanted all of it. And then to match it, I made the swimsuit, which is from a different company. Now, I actually did try it on finally this week after I made it, and the bottoms match the rash guard, and they do fit, but the top is a little interesting.
Oh, how so?
This is the longer body top, and I have a little bit of a Janet Jackson slippage problem.
Ooh, I'm sure Jen likes that.
So there's a couple of things. It's too short under the boob, and it cuts in too deep. So I need to raise the underarm by about 2 inches and lower the bottom by the same amount.
So I'd probably slash that pattern piece into quarters or something.
Well, fortunately, I copied it onto tissue paper,
Nice.
so I can add tissue paper because the shoulders fit great, and this part is great. It's just where it comes down to the underarm is too low. It cuts in to the side.
So what
the side boob actually
is I don't
out.
know that I would, because this curve might be the correct like anatomical curve. It just needs to move. So you slash the pattern on the, I think actually on the nipple axis, and then you do it like it's expanding out. So you don't change the line.
The line where it's hitting me down here is under my bra line. It's too low on the side. Even if I had that, I could move that angle up. And I mean, I see what you mean. But the underarm, I would keep that. I would just just move it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's no elastic in the bottom. I don't even want to know what the shorter version was. So, because this part is longer. The other one was just like about 1.5 inches shorter. It was like this.
That's really pretty.
But it's got this like what do you call this color? It's just like a yellow orange.
It's very orange sherbety.
Yeah.
But not
See, that
as tangerine. Is that more tangerine?
I would call that peach sherbet.
Peach sherbet. Okay.
And this is
peach sorbet.
Orange.
The other's peach sorbet. This is orange sherbet.
Yeah.
But
or a creamsicle.
Creamsicle. Yeah, creamsicle color. But I did have fun with it because the thread that I'm using is one of those woolly threads, so it is very stretchy, the thread itself, because apparently I started the rash guard with a straight stitch instead of, I don't know what I was thinking, but even it has stretch and give because the thread itself, if I tried to do this with an all-purpose poly, it would just snap. So between having the right needles and the right, because I've tried working with this before with what I thought was the right needles, but not quite the right thread, and it created big holes. I tried making leggings from special ordered the kind of swimsuit fabric from Spoonflower, and as soon as I put it on, right where every stitch was a hole that just was awful. And they did refund me that time, but still. Anyway, so that's it for finishing.
Well, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Swimwear is like basic shapes, but it's such challenging fabric to work
Well,
with.
now I'm encouraged to make underwear because
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this really wasn't that hard, and it has it. I already had stash like the mesh, the stretchy mesh. I already had that as stash. That's why the
Yeah.
top and the bottoms are two different colors because I was using what I had.
Making underwear is easy. Also, like, nobody's gonna, I mean, somebody might see it. Nobody's gonna see it except for you. Like, it's going under your pants or your skirt or whatever, you know? It's not like you're wearing it at the beach where everybody's gonna look at,
And
you know what I mean?
some underwear is ridiculously expensive considering it's hardly any cloth at all
Yeah.
and hardly any work at all.
You know the thing I've observed about like all the seamless underwear? It's just glued.
Yeah.
It's glued,
It
and
still has a seam,
Yeah.
you know?
But it's not bulky from
Right.
seaming.
Right.
yeah, that glue kind of chafes after a while, though. It depends on where it's glued.
Depends on who you bought
But-
it from too.
That's true. I got the cheap stuff last.
Well,
time.
I'm not accusing you of buying cheap because I love cheap. I'm just saying, like I
You're
got
not shaming the cheap.
No, I got some Nicks which were kind of on the expensive, but they're washing really well.
I get Instagram ads for this company called Woxer, which I think is for like women's boxers, like is how they're like branded.
Yeah.
But I clicked on it once and now like, you know, Instagram's
all
like,
you
you
get.
sure you don't want to buy it? I'm like, okay, I'll buy some eventually. I promise I'll
Yeah.
buy it. Instagram knows.
Obviously, these
I'm
are the
gonna buy
underwears you
it.
want. Oh, it's good. It fits so nice.
Nice.
This rash guard is just so lovely. It means that I only have to reapply on my face
Is the
and my
fabric
ears.
SPF protecting?
I don't know, but it seems like the same stuff as I've bought before, and I don't know that anything else was SPF protecting, but
It's just when I bought swim shirts for the kids, it's like the fabric says SPF.
When
on
I
it.
was a little
have never
kid,
seen
I
that.
had a bathing suit that was lime green and black cheetah print.
Ooh.
And I wore it all summer to swim lessons,
Oh,
and
no.
I got a suntan through it, except where the black spots were. So I looked like I had a cheetah print suntan. So I'm concerned about your large floral print. Is what I'm saying.
it's going to be really
Just make
interesting.
sure you put a little like you'll put some sunscreen.
Well, look,
on.
across the chest, I'm going to have that swimsuit underneath it. And it'll be interesting
It
across the
definitely
sleeves.
is going to protect you, and maybe it is SPF.
Yeah.
You bought nice stuff.
So this was from a gal in Hawaii that she turns her hand painted art into fabric
That's so
herself, and she doesn't go through Spoonflower. She has her own thing, and she does different bases on. And so I wish I could remember. I didn't look. I tried to find her, then I couldn't find her again.
That's really cool.
It is cool.
But it is just, yeah, I want to make more like this because this is super comfortable. It
That's
would
great.
probably be hot because it's nylon poly. It's whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't wear it not in the water.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
It would be interesting.
No, but it's really pretty.
Yep.
And it's a
So-
cute set.
Nice. I finished 2 other commission projects. The first is the age-old story is we get an email that says, I need a Christmas stocking made. And the very nice customer who emailed me was like, this is probably a strange request. And I was
No.
like, this is not strange. This happens every year. But because you asked me in July, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
If you had asked me in, November, December, no, sorry, which is when those requests usually
Even
come in.
October isn't much.
Right?
October is way too late.
But because you asked me in July, so she brought in the stockings that her grandmother had made, and I think this is hers, and the red one is her son's.
Oh my gosh, that's
Oh, that's
cute.
nice.
Yeah, so it's a granny
Oh.
square stocking with a name stitched on the top, and I think
I've never seen that before. That is really cool.
I would have agreed to that one.
yes, I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that looks fun and easy.
Yeah,
So this is the one that I made for her. I didn't ask. I get the assumption that her grandmother has passed away, so she wasn't able to make new ones. So this is the one I made for her husband.
Aw.
And when she came to pick it up, she said, you have no idea how much this means to me. And I was like,
Aw.
oh, I'll make you another. I was like, if you ever need another one, she was like, well, maybe if I have another kid, I'll come back, but whatever. So that was a fun project, and it was
Yeah.
fast. It was
Those
the
are people
pattern.
you like to make things for.
Yeah. she sent me the picture, and I looked on Ravelry, and I found a free pattern for, like, it looked exactly the same. And I was like, easy. I don't have to do any work to figure it out. Except the instructions in the pattern were so unclear as to how it comes together. I was so confused. I was like, well, where does that one go, and how does that fit in? So if you want to make a granny square Christmas stocking, there's a free pattern on Ravelry. I do not recommend, but if you go on YouTube and you type in Christmas stocking, like granny square Christmas stocking, I had to reference a YouTube video because they showed exactly where you fold this piece and where it gets set in for the heel and stuff, that the pattern was just like, sew it up. I'm like, well, this is what I get for a free pattern, right?
Yep.
But it came together fine. It was fun.
It's very cute.
And then I made a quilt for a family member, which I can't post a picture of it because she wants to be surprised and I haven't sent it to her yet. But she picked out the fabric.
So we won't talk about the colors, but
No,
other than
she's
they're
not
awesome.
a picture of it
Got it.
online because she might
Oh, I
follow
love
us.
the back. It's got this.
So she picked out the fabric for her house. She wanted a quilt for her grandbabies to crawl around. She has like hardwood floors or whatever. So she was like, I want to pick fabric that matches my living room, and I'll send it to you. And I was like, well, cross my fingers, because she's not a sewer or a quilter. But she did a great job.
Yeah, that's great.
I told her about as much yardage as I needed, so she sent me a bunch of fabric, and then the back is flannel.
Yummy.
It's got a denim look to it, though. Oh, it's got this beautiful navy.
Yeah. And I didn't put any batting in the middle, so it's really soft and cozy because she lives in Texas. And I was like, I could skip the batting and make it a little bit lighter weight because it would be kind of heavy with batting in the middle. So that's what I did. And it's all washed and bound and ready to go. I just have to mail it off, but they're like on a trip, so I'm waiting till they get home.
So you didn't have a problem with the flannel? Or did you pre-wash it before you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I pre-washed it in like extra hot just to make sure it would shrink as much as possible
Yeah,
before
because mixing flannel, I love the idea of it, but you do have to do a little more prep.
Yeah, I just pre-washed it and it was fine. And it makes a nice cozy quilt. So those are the two things that I finished this month, I think. I looked back in my pictures and anything because this month was weird and went by in a blur, so I think that those are all of the things. So, what did you make, Anne?
We'll talk about the yarny things.
Okay.
I finished one corner to corner blanket.
Nice.
Ooh. Oh, I love where the stripes are.
So we now have no more stash exchange things.
Right.
You're right. It's so open back there. How did I not notice that?
In our center room. But I did let my son pour through the one big box of yarn before donating it, i.e. putting it in my cart to donate it. And while pouring over those things, which I'm shocked, my 21-year-old son sees red, furry, sparkle yarn and goes, ooh! And, yeah.
And?
Not for me. But hey, to each their own. I'm like, if that lights your fire, good. That's the point of the stash exchange.
Good for you.
One more chance for it to go to a good home, and now it's gone. So this was Bernat Chunky and Loop and Needle, the Michael's...
Loops and Threads?
Yeah. The Michael's brand house yarn, Charisma.
Oh, okay.
One of their chunkies. And so, interesting thing about Bernat Chunky Safi. This was $150. The solid, it's a solid taupe, and then in the center is a multi self-striping blues and browns. It makes me think of denim and teddy bears. The Bernat, I was like, I might need one more of this tan, just for insurance sake. And I went to get it. This is 151 yards for 100 grams. They're now 109 to 100 grams. So
weird.
It's
totally different.
It's a different yarn. Same description. Which now that actually matches the Charisma. The Charisma's 108 or something per 100
But it's
grams.
not like the super chunky version. It was the same exact thing.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. So that was strange.
Yeah.
But I had plenty. So I must have been a little tighter on the going back because I had, a healthy little ball left at the end.
Good.
So
I love those colors.
One blanket for the stash. And even though it has blue, I think it's kind of unisex because of the browns.
Oh, yeah.
Neutral.
Absolutely. mean, I like those colors.
Yeah. I finished my Luminous Summer out
Oh,
of
nice.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
the Juniper Moon Cumulus something. It's like
Right.
Cumulus something because I think we had Cumulus at Anacapa.
Mm-hmm.
It's
did,
like
but
a
it was a solid,
fluffy,
though, I
yeah,
thought.
fluffy cotton with just a tiny bit of nylon. It looks like it's a chainette construction. And then I found this in Solvang in April, and I got really going on it when I was first going to offer the class.
Mm-hmm.
And then that didn't go, so I set it aside and finally just finished it.
Cute.
Which, if you want to make Luminous Summer, it's a class in September.
It doesn't look like it takes much yardage.
Mm-mm.
The pattern is wrong. The pattern does not call for the right amount of yardage.
Does it call for less or more?
It is short on yardage. This took 3 of the Cumulus, which I think were 251 yards. So it took 750 yards,
Okay.
which is not a lot of yarn.
Of what? Is it like DK or
Worsted. It's
Okay.
solidly worsted. I think the pattern calls for DK. So beware if you're making it. You probably should grab an extra ball or something.
Okay.
I'd say it's about maybe 180 yards off, and I've made 2 now, and they were both way off. So Mirabella, my husband took the kids on a Cazzoli vacation, and she was going to be with her cousins, and she wanted to make them things. So she tried the burrito method of scrunchie, which I think you talked about last time.
Yep.
She nailed it.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, she watched the video and she's like, I'm a little confused. I'm like, let's watch it again.
I
She's
was
like,
too.
She's like, how's that going to help me? And I was like, she's kind of pestering me while I was doing something else. I'm like, just watch it again.
Yeah.
And then she got it.
Yeah. I was confused, and then you just do what the lady says on the YouTube, and then it worked, and I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know how that happened, but okay.
Yeah. So she made one night, and then she wanted to make a bunch for her and her cousins. So she chose fabric, and while I was trying to distract her, I showed her this other video of this kind of weird shaped bag that it was just a video on Pinterest, and there wasn't any dimensions or like source material that I could find easily. And so I played with the dimensions and figured something out that night. And then there was scrap fabric from our mask making. I was like, well, I wonder, I'm just going to play with the dimensions more, and I'll make it out of some like pre-cut masks. And I came up with this cute little like almost square flat bottom bag.
Yeah.
It's very cute. But I was like, Mirabella, I took it home to show her. I'm like, I must have done something wrong in the instructions though, because there's like, it's sort of a box bag, but you kind of fold things in like half a turn off, sort of. And then you fold them back in on themselves, and you're supposed to get this thing.
Oh, okay.
It looks like kind of like a hexagon or lips.
Yeah. It does look like lips, but it's not a box bag. It's like interesting.
When you open this, it opens into like a little tray.
Oh.
So it's
very
really cool
tricky
for travel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what she wanted, right? So I was like, I
That's
don't
cool.
know. I messed something up, Mirabella. I'll have to play with it more because I come home with these after a Sunday morning of sewing or something.
Yeah.
And which I think are very cute.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't like on the first one I did with my first guess of the measurements, I didn't like how the zipper like got caught in the seam there. You know, like it rolls into the seam.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. It's kind of ugly to me. So I extended the zippers and made them stick way out.
Yeah.
Which I think looks way cuter.
Yeah.
So I bring her home the ones that I messed up on somehow. And I show her these. I'm like, Mirabella, I don't know what I did wrong. I'm trying to get there. And she's like, Mom, you did it right. Your measurements are wrong. Like you just made this one side too long. I was like, no, Mirabella, I did something wrong in the process. No. So then the next time I could sew, I made it in the elongated proportions that the video showed, and I came up with the correct shape.
Oh.
And I did everything the same that I did.
So you just had to bring that one box seam, like the box corner, up higher and less wide? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it just eats up more of the fabric
side
up
needs
the
to
side.
be shorter.
I
and
understand.
the body needs to be longer.
So the bottom is, yeah,
and it pulls it up this way.
that's cool.
I'm so impressed with her spatial reasoning.
Yeah.
That she
That's
could look at
awesome.
these two things,
And say they're the
And
same.
see it.
which I have a very high spatial IQ. I think the three of us probably have extraordinarily high
Yeah.
spatial IQs.
What a little
But
smarty
could
pants.
you guys see at first
Can I
glance?
hold them?
No,
That
I
these
still
are the
don't- I
same
still don't
thing?
see it.
But
I mean, because then after I did the one that's right,
yeah,
I was like, I did do everything exactly right. She's right.
Yeah, it's
it's
just up.
from messing with the sizing.
right.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So I like them both though.
Yeah.
So I have another one I made that I've been actually kind of using as a lunch bag because the yogurt I like fits in the bottom of it.
Oh, perfect.
And then I can put the other little snacks I want. Because I don't really like carrying a lunch bag. So you start gathering snacks you want at work, and then you have a whole armful of things.
Right.
You're like walking into the office with your armful of things. So for now, this is satisfying my need for novelty.
Cute.
So those are the things I finished. I'll show you. So she wanted to make everything. And she sits down to sew on a Wednesday night because that was the only time we were going to have before she was leaving. And she's sewing like the first 3 scrunchies. She's going to make 4 scrunchies for
Mhm.
each of them and one of these bags. And she's making like the second scrunchie. And it's like, oh, my neck hurts so much. My back hurts so much. Can you just finish the bag? So she picked out her fabrics.
Oh, those are cute.
Aren't they cute?
Oh, wow.
So
I love the swirly one.
Yeah. There you go. Make it bigger.
Oh, cute. I love that.
And then the matching scrunchies are in this picture. Which she did a okay job on the scrunchie.
Mhm.
It's like
What a great gift.
any 11-year-old, she
Oh, cute.
when you fold in your turning hole.
But she also made those herself,
She
which
did.
is
She
pretty
did a good
awesome.
job. Yeah. But she didn't make sure the fabric was all the way in. She was more like, zip,
Yeah.
that's closed now.
You're like, okay. You know, when
Uh,
it's in somebody's hair, you're never going to
no,
see it.
exactly. And I
made-
didn't give her a hard time about it either.
Yeah. I made patriotic scrunchies for my family reunion,
Oh, cute.
which I guess is another finished thing. There were like 7 or 8 of them. I bought like a yard of fabric. This Liberty London print, which was like
Ooh.
little blue, red, and white flowers, which is like, England,
Yeah.
but also
But
America.
also America. Yeah.
So I made matching scrunchies for all the girls at my 4th of July trip. So
That's really
Mirabella
cute.
had the same idea I did.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good idea. What did we got? We got a quarter of a yard.
Mm-hmm.
Because whatever we got was like enough to cut out 3 and a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so she had like 2.5-inch pieces left for hers and
Uh-huh.
one of the cousins, and like a 3-inch piece left for the other person. And so she made like real thin ones, which I thought were very nice.
Mm.
But I also want to see like really voluminous
Yes.
ones too.
Those giant ones.
Yeah.
I think I bought, because the piece is like 28 inches by 4.5 or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
So I bought 3/4 of a yard, which is 27 inches, and I could cut, I think 7 or 8 of them out of that. I don't remember, but yeah, it was fun.
It is fun.
Well, is that all the things
Those
that
are
you
the
finished?
things. Those are the things.
Okay.
I've been doing a lot of beading, but I'm not going to like tediously tell you guys about each beaded object.
Okay.
I sent you a link to,
Yeah, those are really cool.
'Cause-
The hoops.
because it's beading, but it's also beading around a hoop
Yeah, it's really
for
cool.
ear. And I know it's like
Oh, that sounds fun.
mixing your love of jewelry in a different direction.
Yeah, no, I really like those. They were. I've seen some tutorials about how to do that, and it's very cool where you do some bead stitching around a big old earring hoop.
That sounds fun.
Very dramatic. Which is fun.
Anybody have anything they're real excited about? Any obsessions?
I struggled all month to like find something to watch after I
Mhm.
finished Dark, which was the German like weird time travel,
Right.
time loop.
I think my mom started watching it after your recommendation. She's like, "This is great."
I'm glad
I didn't
to
watch
hear
it,
that.
but my mom's enjoying it. I think that was the one she was talking about.
It is great. I hope she's enjoying it.
Yeah.
If that is in fact what she's watching.
She said it was like the Stranger Things-esque kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Yes.
it's that same time period,
Yes.
sort of one of the time patches, and then same thing of like kids driving this very
Right.
dramatic, high stakes story.
Okay.
It's very good. So I've been struggling to find something to like be as satisfying as that, and nothing new that I started interested me at all. I watched some oldies that I liked, which is why I was watching Nightmare Before Christmas. I watched Indiana Jones. Dante also got mad at me for doing that. I was just doing like a lot of comfort rewatching, which is not something I usually do. I think you've shared, Katie, that
I
you
do that all the time.
Yeah, and it is nice to watch something
that you know,
especially when you're working, because like crochet, I have to look down.
You gotta look.
I'm not very good at. I can be like mid stitch, mid double crochet.
That's how I am with these like felted clogs. Is like that. There's just so much counting and short rows and increases.
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
gotta pay attention.
I gotta pay attention a little bit.
That is one of the best written patterns of all time.
It's
the felted clogs.
Yeah, it's written extremely well, except that you do have to do a lot of counting.
Anne Norling?
It's fiber trans.
The fiber trans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same supplier, I think. But
maybe.
Yeah.
The
one that has the book, actually, from Felted Clogs. And then she also sold it as individual. Bev.
It is Bev. I can't remember her.
Galeskis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I finally found something.
Yeah.
On the weekends, and luckily there's a lot of seasons.
Okay.
Ray Donovan, which is a Showtime show about
that
these
sounds
like
familiar.
Boston gangsters.
Yay! Yeah.
Starring Liev Schreiber, who I think is delicious. He's
weird.
like a little weird looking, but he's very good, and he's good in this. And then it has I like to call him the poor man's Paul Rudd. His name's Ian something.
I don't know who
I
that
have
is.
to look it up. He's definitely a character actor that pops up, and he's playing a total a-hole. The other guy, which actually Ray Donovan is a total a-hole too. Plays an upsetting and scary character, and he's perfect. And it was something that they had sort of wanted Christopher Walken to play that character, but John Voight has the same weird
aura.
Yeah. Yes.
Interesting.
Exactly. So Ray Donovan is my new intense TV watching obsession, and it took a long time to get there.
Yeah.
I wonder if you will.
Yeah, I don't know who. I didn't watch it, but I feel like I've seen it like advertised because it sounds familiar.
Hank Azaria has come on the scene in the season 2, and he's playing this insane director of the FBI in LA. And Hank Azaria can be like, he's so talented and transformative, and he can play someone so sweet and lovely, and then he can play the most horrible human being.
My cultural touchstone for Hank Azaria is the birdcage.
Yes, that's exactly what I think of while I'm
that's
watching
what I think
this.
of when I think of Hank Azaria.
Is that the same as La Cage aux Folles?
The what?
Is the birdcage the American version of La Cage aux Folles?
I don't know what that is.
It's Robin Williams and Nathan Lane
playing
a character, a gay couple, and their son is bringing their
daughter,
future daughter-in-law to meet them.
But it's not like, La Cage aux Folles is like, what's the word? Where people.
The birdcage is the name of their drag bar that they.
Yeah. It's okay.
Well, maybe
so
it's
an
then.
American. It's a remake of the original was this French, like the Cage of Fools. Oh,
maybe.
But about a French drag bar.
Okay.
And people saw.
Hank Azaria is their like bumbling housekeeper.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
So Ian Bailey is who I'm trying to think of, and he spells it like super Irish, Eoin, and he was in Band of Brothers. He played like the
I never knew that actor's name.
That man
I've
doesn't
seen
look
him in
familiar.
a
I'm
lot
not
of
sure
things.
You've never watched Band of Brothers? Your husband doesn't just periodically turn it on and watch it for the
No,
weekend?
no, I did not know he was in a Band of
Oh,
Brothers.
he was
because
in
I've seen him
Once. Did you Once Upon a Time?
That's
Yes.
which
World War II.
Okay, so you
Sorry,
know how
World
like
War
there's
Z.
there's the meme of like every dad goes through like a World War II or World
Yeah,
War One
yeah,
phase,
yeah.
right? James is a Civil War geek,
Oh.
so I come in and he's watching Civil War documentary on top of
Got
Civil War
it.
documentary or movie or TV
Yeah,
show
that's what
or
I know him
whatever.
from. Is he's Pinocchio?
It says August was Pinocchio? I thought he was like the
Well,
baby
he
of
was
somebody.
Both.
Okay.
I also didn't watch that.
I liked it, but then it got really like tangled up, and I think it had like a little split off sideshow, and then it got too complicated for me to keep watching. Yeah, but I think of him as the poor man's Paul Rudd.
Okay.
I could see that. Yeah.
I am sure he would resent that, and
If
perhaps
he
so would
should
Paul
be,
Rudd.
If he gets some more work.
Okay, one more side note. Suppose or has a home in the famous Biber Festival in the fall. Rhinebeck.
Rhinebeck.
He has like a big farm in
That
Rhinebeck.
sounds awesome.
Do you think he has
Wow.
like a booth at Rhinebeck?
Yeah.
You know?
I'm sure
Absolutely.
we wouldn't have heard of it.
I know. That's
You know what? Future road trip.
Oh
Yeah,
my
let's
gosh,
go
Ryan.
stalk
Just for
Paul
that.
Rudd.
Oh, I mean, I don't want to stalk
mean,
Paul Rudd, really.
But if we just happen
little
to, if we
bit.
just happen
He's-
to see him
right,
at
I wouldn't
Rhinebeck,
mind to like bump into him at the coffee line.
Sure.
Make
Buying your donuts.
make eye contact and all, but no.
the silence.
don't wanna
I know
stalk
who
him.
you are, and I see you, and I appreciate you without saying a word.
Right.
I think I'm
All
gonna
with
name
your
this.
eyes.
I think I'm gonna name this episode "Stalking Paul Rudd."
All right. Panda ring. I love it. So Ray Donovan is my current
Nice.
obsession. I put it on while because Kevin's been gone a week. I put it on and he's like, everyone is horrible in this show. I know, isn't it
One of
great?
those.
Yeah.
That's funny. Karin, do you have anything?
We have been rewatching Chuck.
Oh, I was thinking about
You know
that as
what?
I
and
thought
there's
about
so
stuff.
much. Part of me remembers so much, and I mix it up. Like, when did this happen? Oh, that was probably in later seasons. Because, and it's interesting because he works at the Buy More, which is their version of Best Buy. But I also watched the guy who's the manager because when High Street in Moore Park.
Oh,
High Street, the theater there, they have comedy nights from time to time. I mean, they haven't since the pandemic, but usually they have it starting in the summer, and maybe they'll start it in this fall. But he hosts it.
Oh, how fun! The little best friend, or
Not Morgan,
okay.
but the manager whose name I can't remember now because we only just rewatched it, and
it's like on the tip of my brain to like picture who it is. So.
Yeah, you can.
Help me, IMDb.
He's the only black man in the show, so. But anyway, we've been rewatching that, and because I've had to focus so much on technical stuff with the pattern writing, I find that I need white noise, and so I've been using my Calm app, and I set it, and I'll pull up whatever. It can't be too much rain sounds or too much especially bird sounds. Bird sounds make me crazy because they wake me up in the morning, and I hate happy birds in the morning.
Not everything is soothing, right?
No.
To everyone.
I don't like the
bird sounds is so triggering to me.
I like the rain sound effects, but the ones that are like a stream or like
A babbling
waters,
brook or
it's like
whatever.
that makes me have to pee.
Yeah.
You would think I'd like the ocean sounds, but it's too much.
It's tumultuous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I find so I use that or whatever ethereal type music is, again, because I can't listen to anything in the background that has people talking or words because it just, someone else's words keep my brain from making my own.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm doing spreadsheets. So
I have the famous YouTube chill lo-fi hip hop 24/7 or whatever. Is one, and then the other is like chill beats to study / read to or something like that, and those are my go-tos because it's just like some, like you said, like ethereal background beats, nothing any that you have to focus on, very repetitive.
Yep.
Well,
yeah,
hey,
it's
what helped me work until like 4 a.m. those baby shower gifts, because I made it not too soft. I needed, but like I couldn't listen to an audiobook because there's parts that I needed to focus on in the sewing. So I find that sometimes just pulling up my call map, not just for the meditation portion of it, but just for the parts that help me sleep or help me focus as background.
Mm-hmm.
And I tend, if I have them like in earbuds or something where I can completely block out all other noises,
Cool.
then I'm kind of obsessed with my call map.
The actor you're looking for is Mark Christopher Lawrence.
That's it.
Three
That's
first names.
Classic.
And
He is extraordinarily tall. He's like
Is he?
6'4", 6'5".
his character is Big Mike.
Yeah.
And I'm just scrolling through like the things he's known for on his front page of Instagram.
Uh-huh.
And there's something called Romeo and Juliet, a COVID tragedy.
Oh God.
Oh.
And tragedy spelled with a J in the middle.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't know where you can watch this, but I'm interested.
Okay, I'm looking him up on Instagram. Why do I not always remember this? This just seems so obvious, and I always
I'm pretty
forget.
bad at like sometimes I'm really good at actors' names, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's like I couldn't tell you if my life depended on it. But I am very good at the Flickle app. Have you guys tried this?
No.
What?
It is like, because like after Wordle
Yep.
came around, there was 25
I
spin-offs.
I
of
currently
Wordle.
play Wordle, Quirtle, Set-a-Quirtle, and Hurdle right
All right,
now.
okay, so
I gave
Kevin
up on
likes
Wordle.
all
I gave up.
those.
Yeah.
I only go up to Octurtle. Do Wordle,
Yep.
Quirtle,
Quirtle.
and Octurtle if I'm in the mood now.
Yeah.
It's not daily for me anymore.
Yeah.
But Flickle I love to do at work because we have huge Mac screens
Uh-huh.
and it's just a good break.
Okay.
I am so good at Flickle.
Is it like Name the Movie?
Yes. So they
Okay.
give you 5 or 6 seconds of a scene.
Oh,
And
okay.
Most of the time I can get it in 1 or 2
That's
scenes.
like Hurdle, but that's for songs.
Yes, Kevin loves Hurdle.
Hurdle's fun.
The only Hurdle I have come close to, even if it's a song I could sing along to, because I'm just bad at remembering song names.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Today's was
I
real
am.
easy.
I was dozing. Kevin says that every day.
No, it was real easy.
I
I could play the first second. We could play
we
live
should,
right now.
yeah. Well, one time I was dozing on the couch and he
Mhm.
starts playing it next to me, and I just hear the first few bars, and I'm like, "That's Kate Moss."
Yeah.
Okay, Moss. Kate
Bush.
Kate Bush. Thank you. I don't know how Kate Moss sings.
Yeah, we don't know.
And he's like, "Who's Kate Bush?" Obviously, it's before season 4 of
Right.
Stranger Things came
Now everybody
out.
knows who
Yeah,
Kate Bush is.
everybody knows that one song.
Yeah.
Of course, most of her work sounds very similar. He's like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "I can't believe you don't know who."
It's like
Kate
listening
Bush
to
is."
Anya.
He didn't even know who that she existed.
And she's from that's like 70s. That's like old.
Isn't
or
it
80s.
so
I
far?
know
I think
80s.
it's early 80s. It's
Early
like the
80s.
leading edge of punk and
Yeah.
feminist rock and roll.
Yeah.
I like Kate Bush, but I only ever had one of her albums, the one that has Rubber Band Girl on it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm ready.
You ready to play Hurdle?
I'm ready to fail
Okay.
a hurdle.
So this is today. Today is July 27th. If you're listening to this, and there's no spoilers because
Yeah.
this day is already
This is
passed.
recorded.
Okay, let's see if it works. Did you hear it? Let me turn it up. No.
Someone's laughing.
Girls just want to have fun.
No.
Spice Girls.
No.
It's
I'll
a
give you
song?
another. I'll give you. We'll skip forward.
Wait, it's a song.
It's a song. I got
you might
it.
be very good
I got
at
it in
hurdle.
one clue.
I never know the names of anything.
Oh.
Okay,
I
hold
make
on.
my husband crazy.
We'll skip
about that.
forward one.
Like that
Wait.
sounds familiar to me, but no.
Okay.
Oh wait. Is it something from Duran Duran?
Yes, it is.
It's
Nope. Oh. I mean, I recognize this is a song I have
Girls
heard.
on Film.
It's Hungry Like a Wolf.
Oh, Hungry Like a Wolf. Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway, I've also been playing. I'm gonna play Flickle now because that sounds
It's
fun.
really fun.
Okay, I'm writing that
I'm
down.
writing that
Um,
down.
I won't spoil today's.
So that's called Hurdle,
To-
like I heard.
Hurdle. Yeah.
Today's took me 4 out of the 6 clues.
Okay.
It took me a long time to learn that even though it's in red and it's always been there is a skip button
Uh huh.
in case you can't get it from
Right.
that scene. I was just making wild guesses
Okay.
to
to
move
know.
on. But you have to, like, you type in the name, and like a couple days ago was Breakfast Club. I'm
Mhm.
embarrassed to say it took me 2 slides on the Breakfast Club.
Uh huh.
Because the first thing was like this, like, picture of a locker.
Okay.
Mm.
That could have
And-
been a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just didn't have enough context clues.
Okay.
And I didn't recognize seeing it from the movie. It's probably one of the things the kid got in trouble for. But the second one I totally got, and it was a janitor walking through emptying trash.
Okay.
Today took 4 out of the 6.
I'm
And
interested to
sometimes
try
I
this.
do cheat a little. And like, okay, that's obviously this actor, this guy, this kind of movie. But I didn't believe it. So I watched one more. And when you get to the 4th clue, it's like,
I hate that.
man, yeah, obviously. Because it does get more and more obvious
Yeah.
as you go forward.
Now on that Hungry Like a Wolf, I have never heard the giggles in the front, and I wonder if because sometimes when songs are played, in order to make them fit in the airtime, parts either the very end or the very beginning are often cut off.
I got it with that first 1 second because I feel like that's very iconic.
Really?
Yeah.
The giggle?
Yeah.
I have never heard the giggle.
But it might be like it's obviously on the album.
Right.
Not.
Oh, see,
Probably
I would've
not on
only have
radio.
done
It might not
play.
have been in the radio, yeah.
Yeah.
This month apparently is the month for rewatching comfort shows, right? So, do you have any guesses to what James and I are watching again from the beginning?
Well, Jurassic Park.
No, it's a TV
Okay.
show.
Oh, it's a TV show from
Bob's,
the beginning.
Bob's
No.
Burgers. No.
Well, you only like Doctor Who for Doctor 10, so it's not that.
No.
Watching again together.
Yes.
Together, so something they both
This is
like.
the-
Teenage Mutant Ninja
This is like
Turtles.
this is like the 3rd time he and I have
Oh.
started this series over, and it's a long series.
Not Gilmore Girls.
No.
I know that when you tell us, it's gonna be like, oh my gosh, of course, that's Katie.
We're watching CSI Vegas
Oh,
again.
yes!
Oh.
See?
Oh, the
I
original?
knew.
Yes.
Oh
I
yeah.
knew. Duh.
What do you
'Cause
think of? What do you think of the newer
I
version?
haven't watched it.
Oh, okay.
I know there is a new version of it. I haven't watched it.
I
But-
don't love that show like you guys love that
I love
show.
that show.
But I love it when they're
I
in the
love the
Saugus
original.
Cafe having breakfast
Yeah.
after their shift. I'm like, that's the Saugus Cafe.
We just watched an episode featuring the Fillmore train very heavily.
Oh, nice.
And you could tell right away, I'm like, I know where that is. I was like, walked past that on my walk this morning.
Isn't that fun?
Yes.
Ray Donovan doesn't have a lot of that because it's like really, well, it's in Calabasas, but I've never really hung out in Calabasas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in the heart of LA mostly, but they buried a body in the oil fields over by my house.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, those are my oil
I know
fields.
where that is.
Wait. So parts of the early CSI were filmed over around Fillmore?
All episodes
It's
are filmed
all
in
from
Fillmore.
Fillmore to
Oh,
Valencia.
okay. That's my.
All of it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be next month's obsession for me now.
So we restarted Vegas because he and I have James and I have a lot going on this month, and just things going on. So it was easy enough to be like, let's just watch something easy. So we're watching Vegas again. I have a list of a bunch of other things that I think I'm going to save for next month because there's a lot of them. But a new album came out this month that I'm very excited about. It is a masterpiece.
Yeah, I think I was listening to it today.
Is it special?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was. I was
Oh my
listening to
God.
that on repeat at work today, and I'd be like totally jamming
Yep.
and like dancing in my seat, and then somebody come in the office and be like, mm-hmm.
Yes, very professional.
Typey, type.
I am
Typey,
professional
type.
woman.
Yep.
So Lizzo's new album,
Oh, it's so
Special,
good.
is incredible.
Yep.
It's a masterpiece. It
Well,
is so good.
Harry's house got kind of displaced
Yes.
because Jack Johnson had a new album last
Oh,
month.
okay. I
So
haven't
I was
listened
listening
to
to
it.
that a lot, and it's so perfect. Like it's like he climbs
Yeah,
in
yeah.
my brain and then
He knows.
expresses it in song.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but there's no more
Oh,
Jack,
I
no more
was
Harry.
so
It's just
excited
Lizzo all
the
day,
day
all day.
that Special came out because I was like going for a long walk that morning. So I listened to the whole thing straight through on my walk. It was the best. I had a great time. I might have cried at some points.
Aw.
But I was so excited. So that's all I've been listening to this last month is Special.
Yeah.
The song but also just the whole album.
No, she's the best ever.
Incredible. And also James is listening to it too because I played him a few songs and he was like, I need to listen to more Lizzo. And I was like, everybody needs to listen to more
Yes.
Lizzo. Literally everyone.
Yeah.
This album is definitely a little more explicit than her old ones, but
Why not?
very good.
Why not?
Very good.
I just love everything about her.
Me too.
Everything.
She's incredible.
There's a line in there. It's like in the second song. And I don't know song titles,
Mhm.
so it might be the very song that this album's named for.
It could be.
And I think it is. He squeezes my tummy and calls me something. I forget.
Yeah, that's a different song.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
He calls me Melly. He squeezed my belly. I'm too shy to admit I like it or something like that.
Oh.
I can't remember what song that is.
It's
that's
the second song on the.
That's To Be Loved, I think.
I think that's right.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it for us tonight, guys.
On that note.
On that note, go listen to Lizzo. Her carpool karaoke with what's his name?
James
Corden. Which I don't love James Corden, but
I
I'll
love
watch
his
it if it has
carpool
Lizzo
karaoke.
in it.
Yeah. No, I love all the
great.
carpool karaoke.
Well, we are currently reading Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. If you want to catch up with us in 2 weeks for our book club episode. And if you are listening to this the day it comes out, we're going to be demonstrating at the Ventura County Fair on Saturday, August 6th and Sunday, August 14th. If you happen to be there, want to swing by and say hi, or if you have time in your day and you want to join us at our table, we still have some spaces open. We can get you a ticket to get you into the fair. That is if you are listening to this in early August, and shoot us an email if you're interested in that. And other than that, I think we will catch y'all next month. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Strings Unraveled is a production of Strings and Things Studio, with Anne Lekrovin Cazzoli, Kaity Von Rader-Fraker, and Karin Wilmoth. Recorded and edited by Kaity Von Rader-Fraker. Find us online at stringsandthingsstudio.com or on Facebook or Instagram at Strings and Things Studio. You can email us at stringsandthingsinfo@gmail.com.